Back in Week 6, the Redwoods won a blowout in their first game against the Cowboys. Can Dallas even the score?
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has.
It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. From the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Flush to his right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. To throw on 2nd and 6. Hurts. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 27-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A first carry for Najee Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They go play action with Hurts. Sliding out of the pocket. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown. Drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't. Bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. On the option, here's Elliott. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Prescott from the gun. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, Their defense gave up a touchdown in the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Second and 11 now. Throwing. Prescott. Pressure comes and down he goes. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away.
On the return is Sims.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside. Here in this 2nd quarter. On 1st down, Hurts. That's swung out wide to Harris. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Hurts throw there, complete to Sims.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. It certainly didn't appear that that's third. And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Caldwell to return.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Come on, man. Let's go!
The Cowboy offense is going to head out now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
A first down throw for Bolts.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Second and 9 from the 44.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And leading 10-7, well, they may just want to get this to the locker room.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it first and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
That's caught by Sims. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing is Hurts. And I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Hurts to throw. That's caught. It's Cunningham. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving once again from our gang here in Orlando to yours. We'll get back to AT&T Stadium in a minute, but first, let's take a look at what's coming up later this holiday weekend. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Prescott looks to throw on first.
Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Prescott.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this returnable for Sims.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they split the...
It's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Sidney Jones.
And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37.
He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Taken in at the 22. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Here's Sacramento's offense once more.
And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Elliott is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And run off a bunch more plays.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Prescott over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
The 1st down run for Elliott will net him about 5 yards.
They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Well, Fletcher Cox, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and another sack to his ledger there. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there. I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know.
The referee, we're going the other way.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Play action. Here's Hurts. They'll roll him out right. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Redwoods add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Caldwell to return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field. Pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Prescott on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
A dump off to Elliott. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Prescott yet again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
First down, Prescott.
And he'll go underneath here to Elliott.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe connect 6. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys
Do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go. In the fourth.
They go play action with Hurts.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Here's Dak.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. He's going to let it fly. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Now it looks like he'll throw here. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for our visitors, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the NFC East. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Giants. Coming up next.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with their opponents. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors from Sacramento, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But, boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game. And you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And, right away, he lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Throwing Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
4th down now after a loss of 2.
Nice play right there to stop them behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. 35 yards that time on the punt. And that will come the offense as they Jalen Hurts.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Eluding the pressure right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Flushed out right. And it's caught. Touchdown. A.J. Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Redwoods have taken the early lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it's good to make it 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive.
They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts.
Rolling to his right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hurts.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Hurts
escaping the pressure right. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Redwoods lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, On third down and short and everything well executed, he not only gets the first down, Charles, he gets the touchdown as well.
And you see the defense commit to the run so often in these situations, but there's always that little bit of hesitancy, isn't there, partner? Thinking that they may play action you. They took advantage of that hesitancy and found their way into the end zone with a running play.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field.
And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now Jones.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And taken right on the 30. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out.
A big reason why they've been so successful. This defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A.J. Brown, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Redwoods are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. New York ready to go again offensively. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones to Barkley on the check down. Finding room at the 30 and all the way up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after long.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Now Saquon Barkley. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Throwing on 2nd down. Jones. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Brian Burns. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here.
He's been a busy back to work now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. On 2nd and 10, Hurts flush to his right. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll buy some time right.
Bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, and it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. Joe Mixon, a couple of touchdown runs. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And at the half, they have the lead over the visiting Titans. Brandon Cooks, a touchdown catch in that first half. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Tua Tagovailoa. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half. And it's been their quarterback who, not surprisingly, has led the way. But what is surprising is just how effective he's been on the ground, as he's already closing in on 100 yards for the game. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we look at their rushing numbers as a whole, and we'll likely see them throw a little bit more in the second half, with them currently on the losing end of the scoreline. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic? And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Right back to Pitts again. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up. Play action. Here's Hurts. Blitz coming, and down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. They'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. They bring their punter out there now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, it what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5. Set to start the third quarter. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. 7 yards the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, here's Barkley shedding the tackle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chunking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Jones, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. It's caught by Sanders. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Now Jones on first down. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Now we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Another run with Sanders. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run with Sanders. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Here's Sacramento's offense once more. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flushed out right. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
They're throwing it on 1st down, but no one was open, so he gets flushed out of the pocket, runs towards the sidelines, gets out of bounds with a good gain and a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The improv. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for our visitors, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants,